Hello. I did make a post yesterday about how some of these YouTube people were with DID were making fake videos. Once again, I will say that I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but my experience is totally different, and I'd like to share with you what it really feels like to have DID and my story, the way life has gone, the causes, and my alters and all that stuff. So, first of all, I'm from Tennessee. So, if you hear the little country twang, you know where that comes from. I'm 37 years old. I have one child. I've been going to therapy for 10 years. I was diagnosed with DID about 5 years ago. I do have an extensive family uh, record of mental health issues, but I do have to say that none of them ever received any help. So, as credible as that can be, take it for what it is. But growing up, when you see and hear the way people act, you know something wrong with them. If you hear me use the word crazy, don't be offended. I call myself crazy all the time. So anybody else out there who may feel this way or feel that's a derogatory term, I'm not trying to be. That's just how I talk. Um, my mother was in therapy her whole life, as far as I know, like her whole adult life. Although she never talked to her doctors about what had happened to her as a child, she had told me and my sister some horrific things, which, obviously leads to some issues. I do believe she was schizophrenic. She would talk about the government and people being able to control her. She couldn't look in mirrors because they could control her that way. She couldn't talk to me about certain issues because they could hear us. It was always they. So I always just said she was crazy and she would get mad at me. But, and they say that people that are crazy don't know they're crazy. I think that is not true. As a child or as a young adult, I always felt like something was going on in the noggin up there. But like I said, until 10 years ago, I didn't start therapy. Um, Causes of DID are mental, physical, sexual traumas. And I guess to me, time has no concept. So if I get things wrong, it's not that I'm making it up or lying. It's just that I really have no concept of time, especially of my younger years. And I don't want my face to be all over YouTube. I'm not trying to be a sensation. That's why I'm using my little avatar here, which looks just like me, by the way. So it worked out. But I guess I'll start with my childhood trauma. My mother did tell me when I was an infant, my father, they were driving down the interstate and she was giving birth to me in the back seat, and my father was beating her as she did this. And when I was born, one of my eyes was enlarged and bloodshot from the abuse that happened to me while she was giving birth to me. And then when she tried to leave him, he would hold a knife to my throat to try to make her stay. These are things I obviously don't remember. She also told me when I was probably about 3, a neighbor took me riding on a bike and I fell and split my head open on the railroad tracks. Also something I don't remember. Things I do remember, which I have remembered through the help of therapy, a lot of it was blocked out. I was sexually molested by my uncle when I was 3. I was sexually molested by another uncle. I want to say all my sexual molestation issues happened from like 3 to 5, which, like I say, time really has no concept, but that's about the time when I envision it and it flashes in my head. I was a toddler. So that's two uncles that sexually molested me, an aunt that sexually molested me, a neighbor boy that sexually molested me, and those are all ones that and a cousin that sexually molested me. So that's what, 5 people that I know of. And then I still have thoughts and emotions and feelings of another uncle, but I'm not 100% sure about that one. All the rest I'm absolutely sure of. There was also a lot of, I'm not going to say physical abuse really, but my mom, like I said, was crazy. And she would whoop our butts, mildly speaking. Me and my sister would be in the bedroom laughing when we're supposed to be asleep. And she would yell at us from the room. And of course, we kept on. And then we could hear her going in the kitchen drawer, digging around. And I would always think she was going to get a knife and come to stab us. But she would come out with wooden spoons and spatulas and just beat us down. You know, a lot of things like that. But I don't think she really ever went too far with the physical abuse. I don't even like to call it abuse, but she did do it in weird. I didn't feel secure. You know, even if I got in trouble and I was getting a spanking, I would be kind of scared that it would go a little far. Let's see. I also have memories of my mom being addicted to pills and drugs and alcohol, and saying, if I fall the attic, call 911, and then she would fall out of the attic. So that kind of thing messes with a kid. What it feels like to have DID is very annoying and frustrating. You can be, and a lot of people like to say it's just moods. Everybody has moods, but it's a lot more than that. One minute you can be happy and la da da, and next minute just hate the world. And then I say the biggest thing that annoys me about DID is the freaking voices. Call them authors, whatever. But the voices in my head, I hear people talking to me, people calling my name, and in my head, I'll have arguments, and then they'll get so bad, I'll just scream out loud, "Shut up!" And people just look at me. So I just tell them I have Tourette's or something, But the voices are the biggest thing. The inconsistency. Never being able to have one favorite of anything. If somebody asks me my favorite color, I gotta give you like 2 or 3, because I can't just have one. It's like everybody has to have their own. My alters, I would say the host is me, which I don't like using that word. Makes me feel like everything else is a parasite, which it's not. It's all me, just different parts of me dealing with different things. Then I have Kat, and I have Jackie. Then I have Stefan, aka Trixie Misfit. And then there's a little girl in me, a little kid. I think I like to call her Bella, or she likes to be called Bella, however you want to say it. And there are some others, I think. But like I did say in my last video, I am believing the Lord. And if you believe in the Lord, you gotta believe in the devil. And he does work in this world. So some of my issues may just be demons, and you might laugh at me when I say that, but it's the truth. I am gonna continue my spiritual quest and try to cleanse my soul from anything negative and evil. And we'll see what's left. Hopefully, some of these negative altars or demons, I don't know which ones, will disappear. I have been integrating myself through therapy, and the goal is to have everybody pretty much on one page. When I first started, I did give everybody, because I'd always like, if I caught myself transitioning, I'd always snap it back. But when I first started transitioning, when I would feel myself coming to different people, I would give them their couple minutes so they all felt like they had a voice. I wanted to make sure everybody knew I wasn't trying to destroy them, but rather bring us all together. And that is the main goal, to get better with DID, because there is no medical treatment. It's only long-term therapy. And I have the world's best therapist. He's become a great friend, him and his wife. And he's done a lot for me. And he's made me work. And I have put in work. And it's been hard and it's been tough. And sometimes other people didn't like it and they shut it down, but I'd had to fight. So this is a serious illness. And I just want to make sure everybody has a real story to go by if you're interested. And I'm sorry if I think the other ones aren't real, but that's just my opinion. This is in my heart. I just don't feel it. Because when you have DID, you don't want the world to know. It's not something you're proud of. You don't want everybody to be separate. It's not something that's fun to deal with. So it's very frustrating. I will make a couple short videos introducing my altars, which will be, I try to keep these short because who wants to watch a 30-minute YouTube video? Not me. But I will introduce them through other little avatars. And I just feel like I have a story to tell. I've always wanted to write a book about my life and my childhood and my issues. And I think I just have a story to tell, and maybe somebody can get some help or some hope or just some knowledge. And that's just my main goal. I'm not trying to be YouTube famous. If I was, I'd have my face all up in here, but I'm not. So I'm going to cut this video on off, and I will make another post. But my Fear of the Walking Dead is on, and I've already missed about 15 minutes of it. But I will make another post introducing my altars later, and I will activate the YouTube so I can comment to reply to people's comments. I've gotten just a couple, but I would still like to reply to anybody and everybody that has a question. I like to try to keep it positive, no negativity. So if you're going to be ugly, just swipe left. There's no point in it. And we'll just see how this journey goes. I guess we'll go on it together. So that's the end of this video. An introduction to me and who I am and my life. Thank you.